I've made so many stuffed animals and different things on that knitting machine, and I have the 22 peg and the 46 needle. I meant needles. The 22 needle and the 46 needle in the Addie King. And in the Sentro, I have this 48 needle, I have the 40 needle, and I have the 22 needle. And so my plan is to start creating more on that as my hands have give out and just not able to do all the things that I try to make my hands do. Sometimes they, fight against me, as you'll see later as I'm getting this off the machine and, putting the hat together and tying it up and getting it done. You'll see my hands just sometimes don't do what I want them to do, and they hurt a lot, and, they're just so uncooperative with me. And so that is just using the knitting machine. You can imagine, like, my crocheting and things like that is really slowed down over the years, and sometimes it's very, very frustrating. But this will give my hands a break in the crocheting, and I can just turn the crank, the handle there, as I feel like turning it, and pause and do whatever else I need to do, and then come back and get some more rows in. But I think the knitting machine will be a great tool for me and anyone who has, arthritis in your hands and things going on with your hands. A knitting machine can let you continue to create and enjoy your yarn hobby without, the added pain and such. So I will say this, that I named, that I had the two Addies. I had another knockoff toy compared knitting machine. I also have the knitting machine from a loops and thread knitting machine from Michaels. I bought a long time ago with a 60% off coupon. And they haven't had 60% off coupons in many years. But once a long time ago, they did do that every now and then, and I had bought my knitting machine there. Now, that knitting machine still works perfectly for me. I am very careful, and I don't force my knitting machines to do things that they're not supposed to do. I've read lots of bad reviews on that, but I don't know how those machines were treated. Now, I'm not saying run out and buy that machine, because I do think it's overpriced. The only reason why I bought it was because I had a 60% off. If I was going to recommend a knitting machine, I would highly recommend just getting a Sentro off of Amazon. Now, why do I recommend the Sentro over the Addie? Because they're all going to tear up. None of them is going to last forever. And like I said, my Addie, I've had it for many years, but it is on its last leg. It sounds horrible cranking, and it's just wore out. I mean, that's the truth. It's wore out. Like, you have no idea how many projects I have made on that machine. And eventually they're all going to wear out. So I would just buy one of these cheaper Sentros and wear that sucker out. And then buy another cheaper Sentro. Wear that sucker out. It's no use in buying the expensive Addie and wearing it out. Honestly, they're all going to wear out. They are. And these machines here, they hold up. You have to be careful with them. You can't force them to do things that they're not made to do. They're not made to take thicker yarn. Now, some yarns work perfect in these, and so far I have found that big twist yarn is working up lovely in these machines. Sometimes they'll take certain colors of, like, Red Heart, and some colors of Red Heart they don't want to take. it's iffy on every machine, really. So my thing is, when I am trying a yarn on here, on one of my knitting machines, I will give that yarn 3 tries, but not forcing it. If it messes up, I will take it off. I'll try it another time to see if it was me or the machine. And then sometimes, I will try that 3rd time. And if it doesn't smoothly work, I take that yarn off and I put that yarn on the do not use list for my machine. Now, what do I mean by the yarn don't work on it? It will just jam up and not go through. The stitches won't work well. You'll know if the yarn is not working for your machine. Don't sit there and force that handle to make it work, because you're going to tear it up on the insides. And so, like I said, I'll give the yarn a couple tries, 2 or 3 tries, not forcing it, but just gently giving it a try. If it doesn't work, then I just move on to a different yarn. Like I said, so far, this machine is loving the big twist yarn. Some Red Heart yarns they like, some they do not like. Some Craft Smart they like, some they do not like. It just varies. I don't think they're all the same. You just have to get a machine and try your yarns on it. But I love the knitting machines, and I do highly recommend getting one and just playing around and enjoying your knitting machine and getting to know it and its likes and what it doesn't like and things like that. So I'm about to get that hat off the machine. Hey friends, welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's Yarn Tube. I'm Kayla. Thanks for stopping by today. I hope you're all having a great, wonderful day. It is WIP Wednesday, so today I need to get this WIP done and out of the way. Back probably in October, I had made a hat on my Addy machine, and I was making 4 hats. So I made the first one 130 rows, and this is the 48 needle machine, knitting machine that you can buy on Amazon. So I had made a hat 130 rows, and I tried it on and thought, oh, that's a little too small. So I made the next hat of a different color, 140 rows, and it fit much better. And so my plan was, before Christmas, I was going to go back and remake this hat 140 rows instead of the 130. Well, I got sicker and sicker and sicker, and I just did not have it in me to simply turn that handle to make a round. And so I never did get around to making the hat 140 rows. And so Christmas came. I had 2 hats made, 3 hats made. One was 130 rows. It was the blue one. And then I had a green one made that was 140. And I had the purple one made that was 140. I just never got around to making the red hat or redoing the blue because I was really, really sick, okay? And so my son, Dakota, had came in here to my desk to fix something for me. And I said, oh, I had made these hats. I didn't finish them because I never got around to making Elijah's. And I said, would y'all wear these? And so he said, yeah, probably so. And he took the blue one and he threw it to his friend Carlton. And Carlton immediately said, oh, we can take these to New York with us because they have a big New York trip planned at the end of January. I'm so happy they're getting to go see a bunch of musicals, Broadway shows, and just all kinds of things like that. And so that is very exciting, and I'm happy that they're getting to go and do that. It was actually a Christmas gift for them from Carlton's sister. So then I immediately felt bad because I knew that hat was a little smaller. But he immediately put it on, and Dakota put his on, and Chastity put hers on. And I didn't have one for Elijah because I never made his, but I do plan on making his. And anyway, I talked to Dakota later and said, hey, have Carlton to try on that blue hat and then try on your hat. And if I need to redo that one 140 rows, I will. That was my plan, you know, and I explained I just never got around to doing it. So, he did, and he said, yeah, make it 140 rows. And so I am trying to get it done before the end of the month. And so I said, okay, I got to sit down and just make this hat. So that's what I'm doing. It's just cranking out 140 rows. And because of my chronic illnesses, I'm very weak. My arms are weak and my body gives out a lot. And so I do have to take breaks and rest my arms and just rest everything. Because, you know, it takes me a while. And so I'm getting good, you know, getting good at going on this, getting some rounds in, and then I'll just pause the video and work on it as I can while I'm watching a TV show. And then, you know, I'll come back and record some more and finish off the hat and all that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to share with you the, you know, I'm cranking out a hat on a knitting machine. Like I said, it's the 48 needle Sentro machine you can purchase on Amazon. I really enjoy my knitting machines. I have had knitting machines for many years now. Since about 2019, I've been playing with knitting machines. I've made lots of things, not just hats and scarves. I've made lots of plushies and just all kinds of different characters and things like that. And I do enjoy playing around the knitting machine. I haven't in a while, but I'm going to be playing around and experimenting with some things. I have a few things in mind that I would like to make. And so I plan to do that and have fun and just experiment and create different things that I have in my mind. I do love working with knitting machines. I do have the Addy King. I've had mine for many, many, many years, and it's on its last leg. It's been taken apart and greased and oiled and all that kind of stuff, but it really and truly just is wore out because I have made lots and lots of plushies and stuff. It is easy making a hat on the knitting machine. Like I said, my arms do give out because I am weak and have chronic illnesses and just have trouble, you know. And a healthy person could whip out a hat on this in 20 to 30 minutes and not have you know, any issues whatsoever. But I do, but I still really enjoy the machine. Now, you can get a handle to put on that and use a drill. I do not recommend a drill. Out of all the research I've done, I would use a low-powered electric screwdriver instead of a drill because it can get to going so fast and heat up in there. It could damage your gears. But a electric screwdriver is going to go much slower than a drill, and so that's what I would use instead of a drill if you want to go that route. Sometimes I find that tension can mess up and get you off on that. Now on this part, you do have to stretch out your stitches, and making a hat you have to you know, cinch it up on both ends, pull it up on the inside, and tie it off real good and make sure that you got your hat secured in there. and just fix your yarn. And there's no right way or wrong way to do that. You have to just, you know, make it a couple of times and just figure out what you're comfortable with. Now, I have some trust issues, and so I do tie mine in knots a lot of times and repeat that knot just to make sure it's good and knotted. And yeah, there's, like I said, there's no right way or wrong way to finish off your hat. Once you get the idea of it and understand how it's done, then you'll develop your own technique and styles and what you're, you know, more familiar with or comfortable with to make a hat. And you can make scarves, but my favorite thing to make on the knitting machines is stuffed animals of different sizes. You've probably seen some of my videos of stuffed animals and things that I have made on knitting machines. If not, you can search my channel for that, knitting machines, and come up with some videos to go back and watch. And my hands are much slower, honestly. My hands are much slower, and remember, I'm working with numb hands. They're completely numb and painful at the same time. And my hands feel like I have Scotch tape on them, like all on the inside. Down my fingers, the few fingers that I have, and the palm of my hands feel like they are covered with Scotch tape. And so it takes me a little longer to do things like that. As you're watching me, you know, struggle there, it just, I try not to let it get too frustrating, but sometimes it does, because, you know, I know what I want to do, just sometimes my hands and arms and body and all that doesn't cooperate. But I love this big twist yarn. They have this blue, a green, a purple, and a red. Now, I haven't used the red one yet, but the other three colors, as you can see, they work up beautiful on the knitting machines. Like, I'm just like, I don't know what all would make, but I'm like wanting more of this yarn here just to make things on the knitting machine because it works up so pretty. I love the way they turned out. So I'm probably going to make some plushies with those different colors and just make some animals and things like that and just enjoy it and see what I create. Here I'm just trying to close up those ends and making sure I got that layer on the inside closed up super well. And you know, like I said, I have trust issues, so I do knot it several times, more times than the average person probably would. But that just makes me feel better about it, especially giving it as a gift. I want to know that it's going to hold up. And, you know, that it's not going to come apart on that person if they throw it in the washing machine or whatever. So I am making sure that inside layer is closed up really well and tight. And then I got to close up the outside layer around it. So I will make sure that I put my needle through both layers, the inside and the outside layers together, and just make sure it's going to hold up well there, and tie it in a knot a bunch of times. And yeah. That's the kind of things that, you know, I do to just make it feel secure to me, because I wouldn't want to give it as a gift and it not hold up, come apart, you know. But I'm going to just be doing some videos using my 22 needle machine, making some little characters, and I've been making a list of projects that I want to make on there. And we'll see what all we come up with. But so you can check back for more knitting machine videos and just find out some easy things that I'm going to be making and having fun with. But I hope you all are having a great day, and tell me below in the comments, what are you working on this WIP Wednesday? If you're working on a project, you may not even be, but you're probably doing something, whether it's you're working on just trying to breathe today, tell me about it. If you're working on a diamond painting or a painting, regular paint by number, or if you're just resting and laying in bed, trying to get your strength up, tell us about it. We don't know unless you tell us. And I love reading your comments and just knowing what everyone else is doing. I know it's cold here in the United States, and you just may be trying to stay warm today, and that's good too. I wanted to get this hat knocked out of the way and get it done so that I can drop it off to Carlton, and he will have this hat to take to New York with him. And Dakota has his green hat to take with him. And I did give Chastity a purple hat, and so I've got to turn right around and make Elijah's red hat. And I would love to drive up there to take it to him, except it's cold. It's colder there than it is here, and I know he still has snow on the ground where he lives, and so I'll probably wait, or I could see about if Big Daddy could drop it in the mail to him. That would probably be my best bet, is just mail it to him so he will get it quicker. But I know more cold weather's coming, and I just want to know that my baby's warm, right? I always ask him. He works at night, and I talk to him on the phone at night, in the middle of the night, till like, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll be on the phone with my son, and I'll be like, "Are you warm?" And he's like, "Yes, Mama, I'm warm." "Why do you think I wouldn't be warm?" And I said, "I don't know. I just want to know that you're warm." We worry about our kids no matter how old they are. No matter. We worry about them. But he works security overnight and for an apartment complex. And so he's in a car all night long, and he makes rounds around this apartment complex, and he stays in that car all night long. He's sitting in the car for 12 hours. His tailbone hurts, and so he runs the car all night long for the heater in the car. That's what they're supposed to do, is just run the car, sit there with the car running, make their rounds, come back and park, and sit there with the car running, and use the heater or whatever, And it's a company car, so that's how he stays warm. And plus he has on, appropriate clothing and stuff too. And I don't know if he would wear the hat to work, but I want to get it done for him. So he could if he wanted to. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you all hanging out with me today and watching me make this hat for WIP Wednesday. And I've almost got it done. I'm just clipping off any ends there that I had. And I just love the way that blue turns out. It makes a really pretty hat. All the colors did. And then you can turn it up for a little brim there. Isn't that a beauty? It is. I really, really like the way that worked out. And I like the rose that it did there. And I think I even flip it through the other side just to see what it looked like. But then I quickly saw that I liked this side better. So when I gift it, I am going to have it on this side so that the pretty side is showing. But the person who receives it might like the other side better, and they can certainly change that around. Tidying up my desk a little bit. That's how much yarn I have left over, so I'm going to use that in my little 22 needle machine, and that was out of the big twist yarn was 269 yards, and that's what I have left over. So I'm going to play around with it. And yeah, I love that side right there. Love how that worked out. Is that the one I liked? No, yeah, that side. I liked that the darker blue wasn't like the same size all the way through it. And those hats are nice and warm, and it's double layered, and you can do the inside a different color if you choose to. But guys, thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you all. Like I said, I hope you're having a good day. Remember, it's a beautiful day to crochet or knit or play with your knitting machine or color or do diamond painting or whatever brings you joy. But do something to bring yourself joy today.